Hello everyone, we are on a 3.24.2 PTU, it's now on public, wave 1, and we have the new HUD and new MFDs. Let's fly. Your speed is not in the center of your view anymore, it's not too far off, but things like speed should be always in your view. I don't like this. Why doesn't CRG look at real fighter HUDs? Then we have the new MFDs. You can still click onto this with middle mouse button, but you don't see a menu anymore. If you want to go, for example, to weapons instead, you have to click through. This is of course a lot slower, a lot more inconvenient. Target status, scanning, configuration, communications, power management, weapon config, shields, self status, and back to target status. And of course your ship is now animated, so you know that you're flying to the left side. Why can't we deactivate this? I don't want to get distracted by an MFD showing me my ship moving. I guess Chris thinks this is cinematic, so Star Citizen needs this. Same in self status. Your ship is moving with you. I find this very distracting. If I want this, sure, give it to me, but give me a button to disable it. Maybe there's a button to disable it, I haven't found it yet. Then we have power management. Look how big everything is. For example, you can disable some of the power that goes to weapons by clicking onto those boxes. And we have horizontal scroll bars. Horizontal scroll bars in MFD for power management. Something you might need in a battle. Are you serious, Chris? Are you totally out of your mind? Okay, I cannot put anything into life support, I guess it's not in a game yet, but I can put 2 into coolers. Now I used all my 19. Horizontal scroll bars for something that you need in battle is a total no-no. The old power triangle with F5, F6, F7, F8 was not perfect, but at least usable in combat. This thing is not. I don't want to play Tetris when I'm in the middle of a fight. Then we have weapons. I guess you want to hear the good news first. We can now set 4 weapon groups, which is of course very, very nice. For example, I can have 1 weapon group with only energy guns, 1 weapon group with only ballistic guns, 1 weapon group with all guns, and 1 weapon group with only 2 energy guns. You can change between weapon groups. You have to set a hotkey for this. It's in menu. Let's start with first weapon group, only energy guns. Second weapon group, only ballistic guns. Third weapon group, all guns. And fourth weapon groups, only 2 energy guns. Oh, by the way, we have those distortions, those running bars on our MFDs, because it has to look cinematic. Chris, if I would own a monitor that does this to me, I would kick it out of the door at once. Do you want to hear now the bad news? We now have only 1 trigger. Only 1 trigger. Regardless if you use joystick, if you use mouse, second trigger is assumed in view, or if you use a controller. So, you can now set 4 weapon groups, but you only have 1 trigger. Are you serious, Chris? Are you totally out of your mind? Are you trying to destroy Star Citizen? Let's talk about this. I find it's very important. If progress is slow, but result is good, fine. But Star Citizen is getting worse and worse this year. Terrible, no fun master modes in 3.23. Terrible, very user unfriendly Iron Man UI in 3.23. Loading our ships ourselves using a magical handheld tractor beam, while at outposts everyone can just get into our ship, onto the pilot seat and fly away in 3.24. We still don't have keys, we still don't have a permission system. CRG talks about a permission system for more than 9 years by now. Item banks in 3.24, which are not any more realistic or immersive than local inventory, but a lot slower to use. Green Universe in 3.24. New chip HUDs in 3.24.2, where important information like speed is now at the bottom of our view, and we don't have scanning in our view anymore. Instead, it's on an MFD. You have to scroll a lot. New MFDs in 3.24, which have horizontal scroll bars inside the MFD. Good luck using MFDs in combat. We only have one trigger group now, and you see cinematic animations of your ship on your MFD when you're flying to left, right, pitch up, pitch down. Master modes is getting even slower in 3.24.2. CRG is nerfing boost speed, and a lot of mindless nerfs in 3.24.2. And we cannot fire two groups at once anymore with two triggers. We only have one trigger now. This is so terrible. This happens when you have people working on the UI who have never worked on any game before, who are only interested in cool cinematic, cool views, and not a usable UI, not a good user experience.
It's gonna be such a nice thing to just be out in space and be able to see space, right?
Please don't take this as a personal attack. I'm sure you are a nice guy, but maybe you should work on fashion design, maybe you should work on something else. A HUD, MFDs need to be functional. You have to give players information very easily accessible. But your goal seems to be, let's have a nice look outside. You don't even look at real fighter HUDs. Star Citizen has people working on the UI who are not even playing Star Citizen. Chris is only interested in eye candy, fluff, time sinks and cool cinematic. And for those who say it's an early PTU build, this should not even happen. This shouldn't happen in the first place. How can anyone think this new HUD, this new UI is usable? And many people have a joystick with a double trigger. For example, I have such a joystick. If I press the trigger halfway, I fire weapon group 1. If I fully press the trigger, I fire weapon group 1 and 2. Well, before 3.24.2, of course, this is now gone. Why do we have such bad UIs in Star Citizen? And every time CRG improves the UI, it's getting actually worse. See new HUD, see new MFDs, see terrible, very user-unfriendly 3.23 Iron Man UI. Function or being user-friendly plays no role. Holographic design, ghosting text, ghosting icons, transparent background with lights shining through, no opacity slider, moving elements that never stand still, animated selection wheels that have no place in a PC game. Selection wheels are a crutch for consoles. Very bad focus system. My friends and I are hitting the wrong thing all the time. For example, instead of opening a door, we sit on a bed or try to buy one specific item when there are lots in your view to choose from. I played hundreds of games with a focus system and I never run into any problem. Fly your ship, approach the space station, you are flooded with icons and names you don't care about. CRG even managed to make the icons on a star map way worse. Before 3.23 we had distinct icons for OMs, moons, etc. I have no idea why this still happens, while CRG makes the game worse and worse in year 12 with more than $720 million. Chris, even console controllers have more than one trigger, and they had in Star Citizen before 3.24.2. 2024 was supposed to be a very good year for Star Citizen, and now it turns out it's an absolute catastrophe. Star Citizen got way worse this year. Friends lists, org lists are empty. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye, auf Wiedersehen.
You asking me to speak frankly, sir?
Yes. Well,
Well, sir, it's just that you're incompetent, sir.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.